Welcome to the Ramsey Center, ladies and gentlemen. Catamount basketball presented by TV62. We're live, and Georgia Southern is taking on the Western Carolina Catamounts. Phil, your key to this Georgia Southern team that's caught fire of late.
Well, as of late, Georgia Southern has caught fire, like you said, and big ups to the sophomore guard, Eric Ferguson for the Georgia Southern. He leads them in scoring with 16 points per game, 7 rebounds per game. He's also second in the SoCon in steals per game. So look for him to be a big factor. I think the Catamounts have got to stop him if they want to win this game. It's just going to be an up and down game. Both teams not very big down low, very guard oriented, so they're going to be up and down this entire game.
Western Carolina, coming into the Chattanooga game, they struggled with turning the ball over, and then assists. They did both of those Thursday night in the win against Chattanooga. They also shot the ball really well. How can that momentum propel them here today against Georgia Southern?
Well, like you said, they do have some momentum. They're losers 8 of their last 11, so look for them to stay on track with winning. They got to find a way to break the press, though. We've seen time and time again this entire year the press has just been giving them trouble. They've had some lazy over-the-head passes to break it, which leads to many turnovers. So they have to maintain that.
Now, for the Catamounts, who do you look for to step up tonight?
As usual, I think it's Trey Sumler. He's the Swiss Army knife of the Catamounts here. He scores. Their team really runs through him. Offensively, defensively, he's the point guard. He's the leader on this team. He does everything. He's the captain for a reason, so I think he's the main key to this game.
And you look at the Catamounts, led by Larry Hunter, who has coached them to multiple victories, got his 100th win. Now that monkey's on his back, do you think it changes the mindset a little bit?
Absolutely. Now you can focus on just winning basketball. You're not out of the conference race. You get to put a few wins together here late. You can really make a run for the North title.
Catamounts about to take the floor. Now, for Georgia Southern, you say a key for them, you think is the rebounding the basketball, last in the conference on offensive boards.
Yeah, for once, Western has an advantage in this game in rebounding because, like you said, Georgia Southern is dead last. They're also dead last in three-point shooting, so look for Western to get out, just run and take it to them.
The Catamounts, something they were able to do. They were hot from the perimeter, taking over 33-point attempts against those Chattanooga Mocs that came in. Catamounts gave them a win. Now, for the Catamounts, how important is their shooting tonight?
Well, their shooting is very important. For the most part, Western lives and dies by a three-pointer. A lot of that is in part by Keaton Cole. You know, he can get hot quick. We've all seen that. So look for him to get his shots in early, get hot quick, and get this offense rolling.
Now for the Chattanooga Mocs, they could not keep tabs on Keaton Cole or Brandon Boggs. Is that a big key for Georgia Southern, keeping tabs on both those two people?
Absolutely. Like, you can't let Keaton get free. If you let him get going, the whole team will feed off him. Like you said, Thursday night, Brandon Boggs had a big game. Really, offensively, Western was just clicking on Thursday.
Well, we'll send it down to Ryan Keys, the third member of our team, as we get set for Catamount basketball here on TV62.
Thank you, Kyle, and I'm here in front of the raucous Cat House band, right between the band and the cheerleaders, usually the loudest part of the arena, and tonight I'm expecting no different here during this huge matchup between the Western Carolina Catamounts and the Georgia Southern Eagles. The Eagles 6-4 in their last 10 games, 7-4 in conference. The Catamounts more of the opposite, very good non-conference record, but in the conference only 4-7. So the Cats looking to build off a big win Thursday night against Chattanooga here today against the Georgia Southern Eagles. Some keys to the game, in my opinion, is a fast start. This offense is streaky. They've got to get off to a good start here today, get some momentum going, and build on it as the game goes forward. Defensively, they're usually pretty sharp, and I expect more of the same tonight. But the offense has to get going and stay going for the Catamounts to be successful today. Kyle, back to you.
Yeah, and right now, what better time to do it than in front of your home crowd on a Saturday afternoon? It's game day. You're looking to climb back into the conference race. You're sitting at 10-14 in the overall, 4-7 in the conference. You put together a few wins, especially with 4 of them being at home. You got to win at home in conference. Maybe find a way to get a couple road wins, get back in this conference race.
Now you look at it in theory, Philip, and this is a Catamount team that ultimately could end up in a tie for 3rd place at the end of the SoCon action today. Wofford playing Appalachian State and UNCG, a tough test against Furman. So the Catamounts just got to take it one game at a time. Still plenty of time for them to get that first round bye, which is all important in the SoCon tournament, which will be in Asheville this year.
Absolutely. Look for them to gain some momentum and really get going.
Well, the Catamounts set to take the floor. We'll get ready for starting lineups. And this Georgia Southern team, they boast some leadership. You got to look at senior Willie Powers, who had 23 points against Auburn, and a definite player for Georgia Southern that the Catamounts are going to have to keep tabs on.
Absolutely, and then that's a good compliment to sophomore Eric Ferguson, who is their leading scorer at 16 points a game, their leading rebound at 7 rebounds a game, and he's also their leading steals man. So you got to contain him. You cannot let him control the game and do everything for them.
And we'll take a moment, send it to the PA for your starting lineups and your player introductions here on TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. And with that, we are about set for Catamount basketball. Catamount's looking for their second win in a row. And talking with Trey Sumler on Thursday, he said it was about this time of the year where the team peaked last year. He says this time he feels that the team is set to peak at the right time going into the conference tournament. A win here would go a long way in doing that. Haruna Mutombo, again, not getting the start, something we've seen of late, Phillip. And how do you think he has done coming off the bench, switching with Keaton Cole, two seniors, two very unselfish players, making an impact in different ways from what they may be used to?
Well, I think he's done a great job coming off the bench. He's played some very unselfish basketball as of late. However, I do agree with Coach Hunter in starting Keaton Cole. He's been the hot hand, and on Thursday night against the Mocs, he provided them with great outside shooting and a lot of offense against Chattanooga.
He had 18 points at Keaton Cole against Chattanooga, a lot of those from downtown. Catamounts didn't get their first two-point basket till about 9 minutes to go in the first half. They lit it up from downtown early and often against Chattanooga. We'll see what today holds. Tip is retrieved by Georgia Southern, and we are underway here in the Ramsey Center for Saturday SoCon action between the Eagles and the Catamounts. The Eagles haven't won here at the Ramsey Center since 2005. Early drive, that won't go. And when you haven't won in a place for so long, how can that play with a player's psyche?
Well, that's always going to be inside your head. It's the feeling of just not being able to get it done when it needs to be done.
Ross trap. Swing it over to Sumler. And the Catamount offense sets up in the half court. Inside to King, lost it on the way up. And it'll be the Catamounts' first turnover of the game. But a good idea trying to get it to the big fella inside.
Absolutely, you want the big fella to get involved early.
And the big fella, Tawaski King, is going to be called for the foul at the top of the key. Coming off the screen, that'll be his first and the first foul of the game. And the Eagles will inbound on the far side by the Catamount bench.
And Kyle, it looks like that Preston Ross is going to have the tall task of defending Eric Ferguson here.
Ferguson, a dynamite player for this Georgia Southern team and a player to look forward to. Powers drives inside. Nice take. Bank shot won't go. Good defense by Sumler. Ross defending him now. Still won't go. Out of bounds to the Eagles. But that's a perfect example of a smaller player and Trey Sumler making life difficult for a much bigger player for Georgia Southern. Ferguson couldn't get it to go, and now the Eagles lose the handle on it. Sumler brings it into the front court for the Catamounts. Skip pass inside. Tawaski King off the window is good. He leads the scoring. And the Catamounts on Thursday night, they started on the outside. Tonight, they go right into the paint on their first two possessions. This time, they get the bucket.
And that's key to see. Tawaski King at times struggles to finish down low. It's good to see him get a basket early, get him going.
A nice little hanger. Now a floater the other way. That one is good. Drayton banks it home. And much like Chattanooga did, Georgia Southern coming out with that press or full court pressure you talked about.
Yeah, and the Catamounts have struggled against the pressure all season long, so the Georgia Southern has definitely done their scouting report.
Boggs now with the ball in the wing, and what a game he had Thursday, amounting to 21 Catamount points. Led Catamounts in scoring, also had a lot of big rebounds as well before he fouled out of that basketball game.
So far, Georgia Southern's defense has been very active. They've had a lot of active hands poking the ball away from the Catamounts.
They've also utilized the double team as well. The player gets in the corner and almost two Eagles are there immediately for Georgia Southern. Looking inside. Catamount defense has held their own thus far as well, although Ferguson missed a couple easy ones. In the paint, kick out three. That one will go. And Drayton has all 5 of the Georgia Southern points early on. A big-time bucket fading away that time from beyond the arc. And it's given the Eagles a 5-2 early lead. Sumler, spin move. And that one is almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, it's just Trey Sumler being Trey Sumler. I've said it all season, I'll say it again. I don't think there's a defender in this conference that can take Trey Sumler one-on-one.
A very active player, and Another shot from the perimeter. It's Georgia Southern. How about Drayton early on? The Catamounts got to find a defensive matchup for him as he's accounted for 8 early points.
Yeah, it looks like Western's focusing on Ferguson a little too much that they've forgotten about Brayton.
Sumler will swing it over Ross Boggs. No double this time. They get it to Sumler inside. Sumler is fouled, and he'll shoot a pair. And again, Sumler not only showing he can score from the outside, this time he's posting up his man on the block.
Yeah, he understood he had a smaller defender. He just took it to him. Smart play by Trey Sumler.
Draws the foul. That'll be on Hewitt. His first and the team's first. Here in the first half, Sumler will be at the line to shoot 2. First one rattles in. And Coach Larry Hunter, what a job he has done. A young team that he has. They start 4 sophomores, but he's gotten this group together. And for the most part, they played pretty good basketball this year. And they've really started to come on and play spurts of really strong basketball as of late. Powers looking for something inside. Hewitt lost it on the way up, but it's corralled. There's Drayton again. Keaton Cole has the assignment on him for now. Defensively, Powers again, drive, look inside for Ferguson, and he traveled with it. And go ahead, Phillip.
So far, Preston Ross has done a great job of slowing down Ferguson. He's got him confused a little bit. He's 0 for 3 shooting. He's missed a few easy layups, in my opinion, and right there, forced him to travel.
Ferguson looks a little rattled maybe out there, but what you normally expect for him, Drayton has picked up with 8 points in 4 minutes of play. Here early on, Boggs, a triple. That's good. Give them all 3 of those, much to Ramsey's delight, and the Catamounts have the lead. Brandon Boggs picking up right where he left off Thursday night. Catamounts now will look for a defensive stand. Almost lost it. Drayton, nice dump-off pass, but it's right to Trey Sumler. The ball-hawking sophomore has his pocket picked. Hewitt, nice steal there, all alone in the backcourt, and he flushes it home. And that's something you don't see a lot, someone picking the pocket of Trey Sumler.
Yeah, he's usually very careful with the ball. He protects it. He's very good at that. I may have jinxed him a little bit when I said there was somebody couldn't defend him.
Very aggressive Georgia Southern defense early on. Ross trying to make him pay. He's blocked. And Georgia Southern outlet pass intercepted by Trey Sumler. Looks like a strong safety back there on the fast break. Keaton Cole thought about it. Brandon Boggs jump stop, pulls up, won't go. And Ferguson the rebound. And what has been what you called at the beginning, Phillip, a fast-paced basketball game here in the first 5.5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's been very up and down, and I like the way the officials are calling this game. They're letting the guys play a little bit. It's been pretty physical as well.
Skip past Ferguson, nice, no look to Drayton, who banks it in off the window. And Drayton was able to finish, but how about the assist from Ferguson? A no-look behind-the-back pass on the baseline.
Yeah, that was just a great pass, and even better finish by Brayton, who's now got 10 points.
Boggs, long-range jump shot, that won't go. And that's a little bit what Larry Hunter's talked about that this team struggles with. Sometimes they get in too much of a rhythm and try to take too many quick shots. And they don't work it around as much as he maybe would like. As a travel on the other end, Catamounts will get the basketball back. It'll lead us to our first timeout. When we come back, we'll check in with Ryan Keys on the sideline. But for now, we're going to break. Catamounts trail 12-9 at home against Georgia Southern. And the shooting of Ben Drayton early on. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center, and while we got a chance, Ryan Keys over on the sideline. Take it away, Ryan.
Thank you, Kyle, and I'm here in front of the students of Cherokee Middle School here as a guest here tonight, and Paws was playing around with a few of them earlier, stealing coffee, stealing popcorn, but on to some more serious things with the game. Right now, what I've noticed is a completely different demeanor between the two benches. On Georgia Southern side, coach very active on his feet, yelling at his players to do different stuff. On the other side, Coach Hunter in his seat, very calm, very composed. So a very different attitude towards coaching, and it'll be interesting to see how that changes as the game progresses. Back to you, Kyle.
Thanks a lot for that update, Ryan, and keep those middle schoolers in check down there on the sideline. Catamounts get the basketball. Haruna Mutombo in for the first time in this one. Tawaski King has the flash to the key, and Ryan has a point. Georgia Southern's head coach very active over there. It almost looks like he's trying to be a sixth defender. Sinclair also checked in for the Catamounts. Mutombo floater won't go. Tawaski King couldn't corral the offensive board, and Georgia Southern will bring it back into the offensive front court. Powers over there. Comes off the pick, and that's Tawaski King's second foul. And already it seems like they're using the screen game to try to get the big men in foul trouble.
Yeah, and they did just that. He's got to be a little bit smarter than that. There's still 13 minutes remaining in the first half, and he's going to have to go to the bench and maybe sit for the rest of the half to keep him from further foul trouble.
Well, the good news is Catamounts experienced some of that foul trouble, and the play of Kenny Hall, a true freshman of late, has really been impressive. A tall, lanky, but very athletic big man for the Catamounts. A lot of promise in his future.
Yeah, Kyle, he's very active, very athletic. He's a good role player. He rebounds well. He blocks shot, and even if he can't get his hand on it, he challenges shot and alters shots. He's been a very good piece of this Catamount puzzle.
Georgia Southern has to pull it back out. There's 10 on the shot clock. Good defense this possession thus far for the Catamounts. Dribble penetration, kick out three. They got an open look, and they buried it. Nice pass that time from Drayton to Bussey, who drills a three and gives the Eagles a 6-point lead. And there you see, Phillip, a key example of dribble penetration of a guy who scored early, creating a double team, and good awareness, kicking it out to the open man. Boggs can't hit the other way. And as hot as this Catamount offense may have been, can't seem to get the shots early, but a nice turnover. Sinclair looking for Mutombo. Mutombo takes his man, fadeaway jump shot, a little nylon.
Great move by Haruna Mutombo.
And really not an easy shot at all from the senior Haruna Mutombo, a little step back. And again, it's one of those plays that we mentioned on Summer earlier. It's good defense. You just can't really stop that. It's just a better shot by a very good offensive player. Skip pass inside. That one's good. Nice entry pass to Bainham, who puts it home and extends the lead back to 6. Boggs will bring it across the timeline for the Catamounts. Drayton is guarding him. Double comes, and Sumler tries to settle down the Catamount offense. Double comes, he just dribbles right around it. Look for the entry pass, can't get it to go. And it's another Catamount turnover. Drayton thought about a kick out three, then thinks better of it. Nice interior pass, and Mutombo called for the foul. And a blown assignment, but Mutombo, good recovery defense. He's going to make him earn it at the free throw line. That'll lead us to a break. Georgia Southern will be shooting when you come back. Official timeout, Georgia Southern on top early, 17-11 with 10:49 to go here in the first half. Welcome back here at the Ramsey Center. The Catamounts trail by 6, but it's an aggressive Georgia Southern defense that has set up the points for the Eagles.
Yeah, the defense has just been suffocating. They've been very active on the defensive side, active hands, getting a lot of loose balls. They're getting all the 50-50 balls. They're just out hustling the Catamounts. Also the press and the double team. They're getting what they want defensively, and it's leading to easy baskets at the other end.
Bainham at the line, who was fouled on a Haruna Mutombo block inside. At the line, shooting 2, buries the first. And will extend the lead a point further. And, Phillip, you look at this Georgia Southern team, an aggressive defense, tries to get you in a lot of turnovers and then run. For the Catamounts, a team that maybe have struggled a little bit taking care of the basketball. This is a good test for them, see how well they can do and try to take advantage of Georgia Southern being so aggressive defensively.
There was a late violation on the Catamount, subbing in for the Eagles, number 50, Willie Powers. Also
another note to point out, we talked about Drayton early and often, and rightfully so. He has 10 points of the 18, but this Georgia Southern as a team shooting 7 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. They have the hot shooting hand early.
Yeah, it's surprising that they're 3 of 3 behind the arc because they are dead last in the Southern Conference in three-point field goal percentage.
A blocking foul, and again, Georgia Southern will go to the line as they got the offensive rebound off a lane violation. That'll be Boggs first. And Boosie will go to the line to shoot 2.
At the line, number 11, Trey Bussey.
First is good. Keaton Cole checked back into the ball game. He'll take the place of Brandon Boggs, and Phillip, I think, is as good of a game as he had. Brandon Boggs has to be a little frustrated early, but Keaton Cole, you would have to think they'd try to get him going with maybe some off-ball screens.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to try to get the little guy going. Right now you're struggling offensively. Points are rare. Nobody's really seemed to be stepping up, and so I think you need to try to get him maybe off a screen, get him a look and see what he can do.
Again, Georgia Southern shows pressure in the backcourt, and the Catamounts handle it this time as they get into the half-court set. It'll leave Keaton Cole an open look for 3. And right off the gate, when you're an aggressive defense like Georgia Southern is, if you don't get the turnover, you're liable to leave somebody open from long range. And if you're Georgia Southern, the last guy you want to leave open is Keaton Cole.
Right on cue, Kyle. That's just what the doctor ordered. It's a big shot from Keaton Cole.
Ramsey back into it now. The lead went from 9 to 6 in a hurry. Ferguson almost lost it on the way up. Nice block. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Kenny Hall thought he had the rejection. So did Larry Hunter. But either way, it's good rotation defense getting back. And even though he may have picked up the foul, they're not giving away the easy jam.
Absolutely. Make him earn it from the line. That right there would have been an easy 2-point dunk if it wasn't for the foul. Make him earn it from the free throw line.
Dunnigan, a 6'7" true freshman at the line. He missed the first.
Smart foul. Good foul.
And so, I mean, worst case for the Catamounts, assuming you can get the rebound, you saved a point here.
Mm-hmm.
Dunnigan sets for the second. Misses badly, and somewhere to the rebound. Catamounts quickly into the front court as the Eagles can't set up the pressure. Jump shot far side. Sinclair, that won't go. And Georgia Southern wants to run again.
I'm not sure how good of a shot that was. They took a shot real early in the shot clock there.
Powers travels with it. It'll be a turnover for the Eagles. Their 7th. And it'll lead us to a timeout. When we come back again, we'll check in with Ryan Keys when you come back to TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. Welcome back, and Paul's over there having a good time in the Ramsey Center. Ryan, we'll send it back over to you. What do you have for us?
Thank you, Kyle, and I'm here with one of the Cherokee Middle School students. Can you tell me your name?
Ayla.
Kayla?
Ayla.
Ayla?
Yeah.
Okay, Ayla, what grade are you in?
6th.
6th. All right, cool. Now, I saw Paws come up to you earlier and steal your cup. Do you mind telling us what kind of drink you have in there?
Hot chocolate.
You got a hot chocolate, so Paws likes hot chocolate, huh?
Yeah.
All right, is this your first college game you've been to?
No, I've been to one before.
Well, how are you enjoying this one?
It's doing good. I think we're going to win.
All right, good deal. Now, Kyle, I'll tell you in advance that this Cherokee crowd, it's kind of small, but it's been very loud so far. Back to you, Kyle.
Thank you so much for that, Ryan. And, well, young, old, it doesn't matter. We'll take them any way we can get them. The 6th man here at the Ramsey Center. And thank you for Ayla doing that interview with us. here on TV 62. Again, the Catamounts are able to break the press. And she says the Catamounts are going to win. You got to like the confidence from a young fan like that.
Oh, absolutely. You got to love it.
Mutombo, he'll try from long range. That's good. Haruna heating up from the outside. And back-to-back threes. One from Cole, now from Mutombo, and the Catamounts right back to within 3. Tawaski King, Phillip, getting set to check back into the game. Next dead ball with 2 fouls. What do you think of that move from Coach Hunter?
I think it's a good move. You don't want the guy getting too cold. However, he's got to be smart. You can't get in there and pick up a stupid foul. You got to be careful. You can't have 3 fouls in the first half. You got to be real smart here.
Hewitt hits from downtown, and that continues the perfect streak from beyond the arc for this Eagles team. Cole again answers with a triple of his own. That's his second, and if he is heating up, look out, because he can make it rain from almost anywhere.
Yeah, he can put up points in a hurry. We saw that on Thursday.
So a big 3 and a little bit of a 3-point contest. Mutombo the steal. Alone by himself, lays it in. Catamounts back within 1. And hey, maybe the little encouragement from Ayla over there is all that they needed. Catamounts on a little run here. It's an 8-2 run for the Catamounts here in the last 2 minutes or so. And the crowd on their feet. Hewitt tries a tough jump shot.
That was a tough shot right there by Hewitt. He just rose above the defender and knocked it down.
Can't fault the defense there. Hewitt just went up and buried a very tough shot. Mutombo calling the offensive signals for the Catamounts. Drives with the left hand. Back with the right, won't go. Boggs the offensive rebound. Back out to Sumler. Off the drive, pulls up for his shot, won't go. Keaton Cole, oh, he wants that one back. He had the steal and it banged off his knee. It'll lead us to immediate timeout. 7:12 to go. Catamounts starting to heat up from outside, especially Keaton Cole. When you come back, Catamounts try to cut further into the 25-22 Georgia Southern lead on TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center. You mentioned in the break this game is kind of backwards. Ferguson is yet to score, and Drayton, who averages 11 points a game, is already in double digits for the Eagles.
Yeah, and then you got Willie Brayton's carrying the team offensively. Georgia Southern's dead last at 26% from three-point shooting, but yet they're perfect. They're shooting 4 for 4.
Keaton Cole started to heat up for the Catamounts as well. And Mutombo hit a triple to cut the lead closer to 3. And Drayton pulls it out, trying to slow it down a little bit. They go right after Tawaski King. And good recovery defense, smart defense from Tawaski King, letting him go, not picking up the 3rd foul. Again, skip pass inside, tough 3-ball, that won't go. Offensive rebound, Ferguson. Drayton will line it up from downtown. Back iron, another offensive board, Hewitt. That won't go, and Ferguson's called for over the back. And not only is he upset about the call, but I think that body language we see from Ferguson, it kind of sums up how the game has gone for him in the first 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, you can just read his emotions. He's very frustrated. He's not getting his shots that he's accustomed to. He's only taken 4 shots this game, in which he's missed all of them. So he's getting a little frustrated here. Credit that to the Catamount defense.
Mutombo had to receive the inbounds pass dangerously in the corner, but dribbles his way out of it and into the offensive front court. Spin move on Ferguson, sets up his jump shot, foul, and 1. And if you're Ferguson, it just adds to the woes. You pick up 2 fouls in the span of 15 seconds, and Mutombo buries a big one on you.
And that second foul will force Ferguson to take a seat.
And his head coach over there talking with him now. And if you're the head coach for Georgia Southern, what types of things are you saying to try to calm one of your star players down?
You just got to tell him to control himself. You know, just relax. The game is still early. Come in focused the next time you're on the floor. look for your shot. If it's not there, do other things to contribute to the team.
Charlton Young, the third-year head coach for the Eagles, will try to settle his man down. Tawaski King, a big rebound. Catamount's a chance to regain the lead. And it's an offensive foul. Tawaski King, they're going to say it was a moving screen. And that will be Tawaski King's third foul.
Like we said a little while ago, you can't come in here and get foul number 3 in the first half. And that right there was just kind of boneheaded.
So with 6 minutes to go in the first half, Tawaski King probably has seen his last action of this first half, with the Catamounts trailing by a point. Hewitt looks to skip it in, Drayton. And really ever since Trey Sumler switched to Drayton, he really hadn't gotten anything going offensively. Spin move inside, Boggs, tough defense, but a better shot. Baskerville, the junior, gets a tough one to go on the baseline off the window.
Like you said, that was good defense, but that was just better offense.
Double comes to Sumler, looks for help, finds Kenny Hall. Now the Eagles will have to scramble a little bit. Swing it around the horn, 3 ball in the air, that one's good. It's Keaton Cole again. He's heating up from down there. His second one from the corner, and we're tied at 27.
Yeah, he's feeling it, and that's a lovely sight for these Catamount fans here. So getting rowdy for the 3-point T-shirts. But when Keaton Cole is knocking down his shots, this offense can really go.
And if you're Georgia Southern, it might question how you play defensively, because you had to be more hesitant to do that press, knowing that it's going to leave open shooters, especially when you have a shooter shooting it as well as Keaton Cole is right now. 4 on the shot clock. Drayton has to go to work. Lost the handle, scramble on the floor. Shot clock violation. Catamount basketball. And I know it was after the buzzer, but Hewitt just kind of threw it up and hit nothing but twine. But it was after the buzzer. He'll kind of laugh about it, but Catamount defense stepping up as of late. And now the crowd is into it, probably more so than they've been all game long. Keaton Cole looking for help. Had to look for Ishmael Hollis, and it's a turnover. And Keaton Cole might have tried to force that one over there on the far side. Larry Hunter over there just telling him to settle down a little bit.
You got to be smarter than that. You can't make long overhead cross-court passes when facing a press. It's very difficult to do that.
Powers has his pocket stripped. Keaton Cole, well, he may have caused a turnover, but now he got one right back for his Catamounts. Boggs thought about the 3, steps inside. Jump shot in and out, won't go. Tough rebound. Bodies all over the place. And Georgia Southern will come out with the ball. And another thing, this offense, they go as their transition game goes, and they go as their screen game goes. That's how they get a lot of their buckets. They set up the screen game, and as we've seen it work, getting Tawaski King in early foul trouble. Swing it over, Powers. He'll try from downtown. That won't go. Another offensive rebound and a flush. And the offensive glass rewarding the Eagles this time. Another thing that they're not very good at on a normal basis.
Yeah. That right there was just a matter of will. He was stronger at a small defender, and so he just took it to him.
Whistle away from the ball. I believe it'll be on the Eagles inside. It'll lead us to immediate timeout. It will be on Baskerville, his first. Tom Tankowitz set to check in for the Catamounts when you come back. Catamounts trail by 2 with 3:17 to go here in a back-and-forth first half. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center. Catamounts trail by 2 with 3:17. While we got a moment, let's send it down to Ryan Keys one more time. Ryan, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Kyle. I'm here in front of Hunter's Hooligans and got one particular hooligan in particular. What's your name, man?
Kendall Robinson.
All right, Kendall, what year are you in here at Western?
Sophomore.
All right, another sophomore just like me. Now, what have you thought of the game so far?
Doing good so far. Just like good defense so far. We just got to get the lead on them. That's it. Got to work on it.
All right, good.
It's going good for us.
Good defense until that play right there. But
Yeah.
do you think we need to make any changes in the second half?
The only thing we need to do is more passing. Just get some more open opportunities.
All right, Kendall, and one more thing. What's your major here at Western?
Criminal justice with a minor in forensic science.
All right, criminal justice. That sounds good. Keeping the criminals off the street. All right. That was Kendall right there, part of the Hunters Hooligans. They're making a lot of noise down here. Kyle, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Again, Philip, I tell you, that Ryan guy, he's all over the place sometimes. As he's over there with the Hunters Hooligans. Paws is over here hanging out with us. And the Catamounts trying to cut into this 4-point lead here before halftime. Keaton Cole comes off the screen. Nice skip pass. Better defense, loose ball on the floor. And Georgia Southern will corral it. Nice idea, but good awareness by the Eagles defense getting in there and batting that ball away.
Yeah, that was a good idea. The screen was set perfectly. It was a good roll. Georgia Southern just sniffed it out and was able to make a defensive play.
Hewitt looks to drive. He'll kick it outside. And they'll have to reset. Lob pass inside, went for the alley-oop. Lost it on the way up. And the Catamounts get the basketball back. Tankowitz into the game, and he thought he got pushed. And they're not going to give it to him. It's going to be Eagles ball. It looked from our vantage point that Ross clearly got pushed a little bit. Paul certainly doesn't agree with it.
Yeah, that was without doubt a 2 forearm shove to the back, and the ref just didn't see it. It results in a turnover.
And the Eagles will have a chance to extend a 4-point lead on the road here before the first half is over with under 2 to go. Hewitt, nice spin move. Tankowitz got the block from behind. Mutombo skips it ahead. Sumler. Keaton Cole, he'll set it up again. In and out, won't go. Tankowitz the rebound. Mutombo. Nice pass. Cole, fade away. Count it, and a 3. The lead is now only 1 for the Eagles. Well, you think you'd like to have him step into a shot. How about a fader from beyond the arc?
Oh, yeah, that was just a great play. Acts like he's going to drive, decides not to. Little jump stop, jump step back behind the arc, knocks it down.
Nice interior pass. Mutombo getting a hand in there, but too late. And that'll be an area that Bainham is excelled in, but an area that the Catamounts are going to have to look to try to fix. They've gone to that play a couple times and gotten good looks inside. Larry Hunter will take a timeout, and we talk about senior leadership all the time, and there's Keaton Cole leading his team into the huddle for this timeout with 47.3 to go.
And right now he's acting like a senior. He's really been the only one providing the Catamounts with offense, as now he's hit a few threes. He's 4 for 4. Excuse me, Kyle. 4 for 4 from 3-point range now. Really just carrying the offense as of late. So yeah, you like to see that. A senior stepping up in a time of need.
Well, he had 18 against Chattanooga Thursday night. He's got 12 early on in this one. And he's taken over the leading scorer title. Drayton, who was hot early, had 10 of the first 12 points for the Eagles, hasn't scored since.
And you got to credit that right there to Mr. Trey Sumler. Ever since they made the switch, he's been in Brayton shorts. He hadn't been able to shake him. He's just shut him down since then.
Boggs will inbound it after the timeout. As the Catamounts trail by 3 with under a minute to go here in the first half. 15 on the shot clock, about 35 on the game clock. Under 10, Mutombo decides to go to work. Drive far side. Tough shot, that won't go. Rebounded by the Eagles. And they can hold for 1 if they want to. And timeout. Georgia Southern, they want to talk it over and see how they can extend this lead going into the locker room. If you're Georgia Southern, who are you trying to facilitate your offense for your last possession here in the first half?
Right now, I think you stick with the bread and butter. As of late, the pick and roll has been what's been getting the offense for the Eagles. I think you stay with that. Right now, they're making a substitution. Number 24, Chad Waddell, is a sharpshooter beyond the 3, so maybe they're looking at him to get involved with the opposite offense, knock down a three-pointer before half.
Now, if you're the Catamounts, obviously you had to be aware of that pick and roll game and be aware defensively. And, hey, maybe you can create a turnover and a fast break the other way and really get some momentum into the locker room. Drayton will inbound the ball, and Powers takes it in the backcourt. Mutombo's on him. Kick it out. They're trying to swing it into the corner. Trap comes, handled well. 3-2, last second shot on the way. Won't go. The buzzer will sound, and your halftime score, 33-30. Catamounts trail, but in the second half, especially the latter stages, they really started to get their shooters going, especially Keaton Cole with 12 first half points.
Yeah, Keaton Cole got hot quick, and he stayed hot for the first half, really carried this offense. I'd like to see a little bit more out of Mutombo. Brandon Boggs has also played well. Tawaski King, though, when he comes back, he's got to be careful, and he's got to stay out of foul trouble. He's too important to this Catamount offense to be sitting on the bench.
We'll take a break for halftime, and when we come back, Ryan Keys will be with assistant head coach Brigham Waginger for his first half analysis, and then we'll break down the second half for you. Again, the halftime score, Georgia Southern 33, the Catamounts 30, here on TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center. Catamounts trail by 3 as we get set for the second half. And Ryan Keys is getting set with assistant coach Brigham Waginger. We'll set that up real quickly. Catamounts, who trail by 3, but could be a lot worse. Catamounts doing a good job of cutting into that lead in the second half. Ryan, take it away. You're with Brigham Waginger.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm here with Coach Waginger of the Western Carolina Catamounts. And Coach, we saw Cole and Mutombo have very good first halves, but the rest of the team not very active offensively. How do you get the rest of your team involved?
Well, I think, we're showing a little bit of fatigue. 5 games in 10 days. Guys got to respond. We're going to try to get them, we got to match Georgia Southern's intensity effort on both ends of the court.
I think that's a very good point. Now, defensively, we're seeing 2 players for Georgia Southern, Drayton and Hewitt, having big games. How do you start the lockdown on them and force them to go elsewhere?
Well, we made adjustment at halftime. Instead of going over ball screens, we're going to go under, kind of control them driving, try to make them settle for some jump shots.
You mentioned the energy. We saw in the first half that their bench was very vocal, very much on their feet. Your bench a little more composed. Do we see you get up on your feet and talk a little more in the second half, or do you just want to keep calm?
We're going to keep calm. That's what we do. It's a characteristic of us. Our team, we got to match their intensity and effort, like I said earlier, on both ends of the court. And we're showing a little bit of fatigue, but we got to fight through that. We got Thursday to recover, so we'll be all right.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Kyle, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. And interesting, Philip, Brigham Waginger said instead of going over the top of ball screens, they're going to go under and try to get them to settle for jump shots. So you like that move?
Absolutely. even though Georgia Southern is hitting their shots today, they are still dead last in field goal percentage from three-point range. So I think by sending them under the screen rather than over top of it, you cut off the dribble penetration and the possible pick and roll. Make them settle for jump shots, make them take more outside shots. A 15-foot jump shot's a lot harder to make than a dunk. So I absolutely agree with that.
And we got a minute and a half or so before second half starts. Philip, update us on the top 25 scores from around the country.
Well, as of right now, Ohio State is leading Wisconsin by a score 28-24 at halftime. Baylor over Oklahoma State 39-34 early in the second half. Florida leads Vanderbilt late in the second half. Notre Dame, as of right now, pulled off the upset over Marquette 76-59. Virginia, Florida State locked in a tight one in the second half. Looks like Florida State's going to pull that one out 56-52. Georgetown handled South Florida easily. Syracuse with a 25-point win over St. John's 95-70. That right there wraps up the scoreboard as of now.
Thank you, Philip. And that Notre Dame game has gone final. They have upset the Marquette Gold down in South Bend. And the Catamounts coming out in a big point that Brigham Waginger made. He said, hey, this is the 5th game in 10 days, but fatigue or not, we got to match their intensity on both sides of the ball.
And so far, I think they've done that. For the most part, very even stats, other than Georgia Southern does lead Western with points in the paint, leading them 10-4. Same amount of turnovers, fast break points of 2-4, second chance points 4-3, bench points, there's only a 3-point difference. I think it's been a very evenly matched game.
A big key for the Catamounts coming in. Don't turn the ball over. They have 10 to Georgia Southern's 12, and rebound the basketball. Catamounts have 9 to Georgia Southern's 16. So something to look forward to as we go in the second half. Starting this half for the Catamounts, it's Trey Sumler, Brandon Boggs, Tawaski King. Remember, he's saddled with 3 fouls. Keaton Cole and Aruna Mutombo. We'll kick it off for the Catamounts as we are underway here in half number 2 in the Ramsey Center.
Also, the Eagles' Ferguson is back in after early foul trouble and some frustration. Maybe he'll look to get some shots in.
Keaton Cole, make it 5 for 5. He's making it rain with a little nylon here in the Ramsey Center.
And that one right there wasn't exactly close up. That was from deep.
NBA range for sure. Keaton Cole buries the jump shot, and just like that, we're tied at 33. Baseline drive, kicks it out, Powers. Trying to create shots. That one won't go. Rebounded, Brandon Boggs. Catamounts can get their first lead in a long time with a bucket here. Sumler dribbles around the end, kick out, Boggs, pump and go. Nice pass inside. Mutombo is fouled and will shoot a pair. What a pretty pass. Unselfish basketball, something this Catamount team had struggled with settling with shots. Certainly didn't do it there. A beautiful pass from Brandon Boggs.
That was just heads up. First of all, he throws the head fake, gets the defender up in the air, able to dribble in, get a closer look, dumps off to Mutombo, gets the foul, chance for 2.
Catamounts have not had a lead in this game since the 1844 mark in the first half until now. They lead 34-33, 19:06 to go. Also an update on the women's side. At the half, the Catamount women led the UNCG Spartans 15-11. Halfway through that one in the Greensboro Coliseum. Women's team also starting to play a lot better basketball. A big win against College of Charleston and Ferguson. Maybe a frustration jam there as he got free on the baseline.
Yeah, that was a very angry first 2 points right there by Ferguson.
And Ferguson, who was held scoreless, and now Mutombo turns it over. Sumler trying to get back defensively. Thought he might have gotten pushed off, but he can't do it. Georgia Southern bench fired up, along with Coach Young leading the way as the Eagles are back up 3. Boggs inside, King is hammered. That foul will be on the floor on Drayton. But again, looking to the inside, and with that aggressive defense, Georgia Southern has to be able to recover in time. Catamounts doing a good job finding the open guy. Boggs in a little bit of trouble. Turns it over again. Catamounts already with 2, and it's led to 4 Georgia Southern fast break points.
Yeah, some sloppy basketball being played here early by Western offensively. They're just very, very lackadaisical with the ball, turning it over. And there was a near turnover right there by Sumler.
Georgia Southern bench very up in arms over there on the sideline. Sumler, how about a little teardrop? He looks like he's driving to the lane, brings Coach Young down to his knees over there. Not much you can do. He controls his body so well, especially on the drive to Trey Sumler.
Yeah, he's very cool, calm, and collected. Doesn't ever seem to get frustrated or even the slightest bit rattled.
Cole stripped it away as they were looking for another dunk. Sumler will spot up for three. And just like that, the Catamounts are tied again. But that play started with King Cole defensively, knocking it out of the arms of Baskerville on the inside as he went up for the flush. Catamounts can now settle in the half-court defense. Looking inside, and defensively, Catamounts have switched back. Sumler back on Powers, Keaton Cole on Drayton after Drayton cooled off significantly in the latter stages of that first half. Powers trying to drive, nothing there, has to kick it back out. Pump fake, Hewitt for three, off the front iron, no good. And another offensive board, the 7th for the Georgia Southern Eagles. Drayton trying to get going on Cole. He passed it right to Brandon Boggs. 3-on-2 break. Cole thought about the three from the corner. They'll swing it around. Mutombo drives into King with the right hand off the window. Count it. And the Catamounts are back up by 2. And that's a lot of what the Catamounts missed with him on the bench with 3 fouls in the first half, Phillip.
Absolutely. And that was very good team basketball in that offensive possession. Everyone touched the ball and led to an easy basket inside.
Powers, a nice take of his own. Driving without the basketball on the baseline. Sumler, kick out. Boggs, jump stop. Count it. A step inside the line. The pump fake against an aggressive defense can work so well. Brandon Boggs demonstrates it perfectly that time.
And since he is such a great shooter, people have to respect his ability to rise up and shoot above him, so they fall for every head fake he throws.
Ferguson, he has 4 points, both of them monster dunks on drives on the baseline. That play's gotten the Catamounts a few times here this afternoon. Sumler.
And a lot of that is in part by the fact that King does have 3 fouls and he can't afford to pick up a 4th one this early in the second half. So he's got to be soft down low, but got to be careful not to get that 4th foul.
Powers again to the rack. Mutombo the defensive rebound as Powers missed on the layup. Mutombo went right by him and it went off his leg. It'll be Georgia Southern ball back and forth. We are ultimately tied in what will be a wild ride to the finish. As most are in the Southern Conference, we're here in the Ramsey Center. Pause will lead us to break. 43-all with 15:06 to go. Catamount basketball brought to you by TV 62. Welcome back, the Cat House Band bringing us back in, and people underestimate how hard it is shooting that direction. Trey Sumler talked about it Thursday. He said they come up with stuff that we laugh at. He said, you know, as a road team, you have to be distracted about it. The 6th man, a big factor here in the Ramsey Center.
Absolutely, especially facing that band. They're always coming up with some sort of crazy antics. My personal favorite is the guy who dresses up as a hot dog.
Well, we haven't seen him yet, but we still got 15 minutes to see that one. Georgia Southern brings it into the front court in a 43-43 ball game. And an aggressive game both ways. Almost a turnover for the Eagles. A good defense, good ball denial. We've seen that throughout the game for the Catamounts. Swing it inside, back as Georgia Southern tries to set up their half-court offense. Drayton will swing it, looking for a skip pass inside. Nothing there. Long-range jumper won't go. Battled for the rebound. Stripped away, Mutombo. Skip pass to Keaton Cole, and they'll set up the half-court offense. They couldn't find Kenny Hall, who was standing with his arms in the air in the paint. And the Catamount settle into the half-court set. Under 10 on the shot clock. Sumler calls what he wants, calls for the screen, goes the opposite direction. Left hand, left all alone, won't get it to go. Mutombo called for over the back. And while we have a moment, we'll check in Ryan Keys down on the sideline. Who knows where he is this time? Ryan, take it away.
The first team foul.
Well, seem to be having some technical difficulties. We'll try to get him. The next chance we have, Georgia Southern comes into the front court. Who knows? Someone probably took his mic or something from him, knowing Ryan going all over the Ramsey Center here this afternoon. Skip pass inside, intercepted. Mutombo quick out to Cole. To the rack is denied. And he goes slamming into the photographer. But it'll be Catamount basketball. And another situation where we've seen Brandon Boggs use it throughout the game. A head fake, and that guy would have been in the rafters, and Cole could have had a layup. Boggs drives, pull-up jumper. That won't go, a defensive rebound. And we've been stuck at 43-43 for a while. And it is off Georgia Southern. Give the Catamounts the ball back. And Bussey is a little upset about that one as he went tumbling to the floor and lost it out of bounds on his way to the deck.
I think he's got a reason to be upset. It appeared that Kenny Hall gave him a little bit of his shoulder into the sidelines before not poking the ball away from him.
Well, this game, Phillip, it's been physical all game long. Also very, very up-tempo as well. Mutombo would drive. He thought he got a nudge. They didn't call. No call as they're letting them go here in the Southern Conference in the Ramsey Center between the Catamounts and Eagles. Skip pass inside. Shot won't go. And the Catamounts again with a defensive board. Sumler, he'll try from the corner for three. We're tied at 43, no longer. Sumler give them all three of those.
And that was a good extra pass by Keaton Cole. He caught the ball. He could have shot it. Instead, he passed it to a better shot in the corner for Trey Sumler. Knocks it down, gives the Catamounts the lead.
Well, Brigham Waginger Ryan talked about how passive this bench is, but not passive anymore. The whole bench up in arms. Larry Hunter double clutch fists. In applause of that effort. Tawaski King will check back in for Mutombo. As Drayton, who started off so hot, only has 2 points really since the first 5 minutes, and just then creates a turnover. Sumler set to bring it into the front court. Again, Georgia Southern bringing pressure. And as the game has gone on, Phillip, the Catamounts have handled that pressure better and better.
Absolutely, and it seems not only game to game, but possession to possession, they've been getting better. They stick a man in the middle of half court, get it to him, and he's able to give bounce pass. It starts with the passes. You throw overhead passes, they're going to get picked off. Bounce pass is the best pass when trying to break a press.
Tawaski King gets a big rebound on the inside and tried to go back up. He was fouled. They'll call it on Bainham, his first. And Tawaski King will be at the line to try to extend this Catamount lead from the charity stripe. He's good on the first, and while we got a chance, let's send it back to Ryan Keys on the sideline.
Thank you, Kyle. And I'm going to head up here to the Cat House Band. I've got Jordan, also known as the Hot Dog Band, but no hot dog today. Where's the costume at?
Once the first shooting foul comes down this way, hot dog comes out. Oh, they ain't ready. They're not ready.
So they're not ready for the hot dog? You're going to surprise them with it?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to whip it out and surprise them. Big surprise.
Now, what was the inspiration behind putting you between two buns?
Well, I've seen other schools have, like, Speedo guy like Duke. So why not Western have something crazy? The wiener. That's all there is to it.
And how does it feel to have to run away from all of the members of this band that want to eat you on a daily basis?
Good workout. Got to stay in shape somehow. As long as I don't get eaten, I'm very happy. Catamount win is what I'm here for. So I got to do my part.
I can see Kyle laughing from the press table. And Kyle, I'll tell you, just by looking at this guy, in much better shape than I am. Back to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. And, well, there you have it, Phillip. The history behind the hot dog. You were asking about him, and Ryan Keys over there delivers for you. 2-point lead. Mutombo step back. Count it. Timeout. And the ref says it's his time. They'll start the clock. Official timeout. 11:21 to go. Catamounts lead by 4. They've turned things around, working inside out on the Georgia Southern Eagles on TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball.
With 13 minutes to go in the game, the College of Charleston 45, Appalachian State 39. With 10 minutes to go in the game, Wofford 39, Stanford 38, and with 15 minutes to go, first half.
Welcome back to the Ramsey Center as they announce some of the scores from around the country, or from around the conference rather. College of Charleston up by 6 in Boone against Appalachian State. That would help the Catamounts climb to that tied for their third mark. UNCG will be in action later today. The leaders of the Northern Division, who have won 7 in a row. Wes Miller really has the Spartans going over in Greensboro. But here the Catamounts have opened up a 4-point lead. Kick out Ferguson. He'll try a 3-ball. That won't go. Tawaski King says no, second chance bucket here. Nice pass. Mutombo. Spin move. Off the window. Count it. And the Catamounts back up 6. And that pass from Keaton Cole, you could almost play quarterback throwing passes like that. A dime to Haruna Mutombo. Mutombo does the rest.
And I like the pressure defensively that the Catamounts are bringing. They're still continuing to get turnovers, and especially King, he's played smart, and he has not gotten that 4th foul. And here we are 10 minutes into the second half.
Powers hits the triple. Sumler again will be facing about 3/4 court pressure this time. Drives right by Hewitt. All the way to the window. Won't go. And Georgia Southern tries to take it the other way. Ferguson! A two-handed alley-oop stuff. And the Eagles are back within 1.
And Ferguson's starting to find his rhythm a little bit. He was held scoreless in the first half. Now he's got 9 points. He's got 3 dunks, and he knocked down a 3-point shot. So it looks like he's starting to find his offense.
Sumler turns it over. Hewitt lays it in. And just like that, the Eagles have turned turnovers to points and a 1-point lead. 53-52, the Catamounts led by 6. Sumler almost turned it over again. And now the Catamounts get it back into the half-court set. Tawaski King going to work. A little jump hook. A golden move on the inside by Tawaski King.
Yeah, what a move. He was real patient. His initial move didn't get the defender up in the air when he first spun. He spun again to the inside and was able to knock down an easy jumper.
Gets his 8th point of the game. And at halftime, Keaton Cole, the only guy that was standing out points-wise for the Catamounts. Since then, as Powers knocks down the jumper. 2 other Catamounts have hit double figures. Trey Sumler with 12, and Mutombo also with 12, and King knocking on the door with 8. And Cole with the basketball, trying to get the Catamounts the lead back. Cole drives all the way to the rack. Ferguson is going to be called for the goaltend. Count it, as that one was swatted away on the way down. But Ferguson seems to be playing with more energy, more confidence, and he's not necessarily shooting the ball well, but he's finding ways to get to the rim and jam it home.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of little things. He's active on the boards. He's been getting a few offensive rebounds, especially passing the ball well. Even though that was goaltending right there, he has stepped up his play on the defensive side. So even though he's not having the offensive game that he would like, he's doing the little things to help contribute to his team's success.
Timeout taking Catamounts by 1, and we talk about it. The turnovers leading to points for Georgia Southern. Catamounts had stretched the lead out to 6. Georgia Southern was able to take advantage of Catamount turnovers around the midcourt area.
Yeah, that's just a classic example. The turnovers will absolutely kill you. If you don't protect the basketball, almost always it leads to easy baskets for the other team. And like you said, Catamounts had a 52-46 lead. Within maybe a minute, it got turned the other way around. They were down by 1. A 7-point turnaround, all because of turnovers. You have to protect the basketball.
Well, and let's credit Powers as well for this Georgia Southern team. He hit a 3-ball and also a big shot from around the elbow. He's picking it up offensively as well for this Georgia Southern team, giving them that second guy scoring the basketball that they needed.
Yeah, and he's stepping up at the right time. Ferguson's beginning to wake up, and you had Drayton early on in the first half hitting his shots. So Hewitt has stepped up because Drayton hasn't done much since the first half. Him and Ferguson are waking up here in the second half at the right time for the Eagles.
And we're about set to get back to the action as the horn whistles. Student section up on their feet as always, as the Catamounts lead by 1 defensively. How can the Catamounts do better when the Eagles are able to get in transition?
I think you just got to get back on defense. It comes down to hustle. You have to stop ball first of all. They've done a pretty poor job of that. It's led to some easy dunks. Ferguson's having a field day slamming the ball.
He has 3 of them, which have accounted for all 6 of his points. Powers, another lob to Ferguson, who again jams it home.
Right on cue.
And the ball screen again setting up a drive for Ferguson, and a nice dime by Powers as well.
Yeah, they're not doing anything fancy. It's just basic pick and roll fundamental basketball. It's leading to easy baskets for the Eagles.
Boggs in trouble, looking for an outlet. It's a 5-second call. Or nope, Larry Hunter's going to take a timeout at the 8-minute mark to avoid the 5-second call. So it'll be a 30-second timeout. And we'll stay here and Phillip, again, Georgia Southern swarming to the ball, double teaming the ball carrier. And it's cost them at times this game, but in a big way, it's led to 14 Catamount turnovers.
Absolutely, it's had its positives and its negatives. At times when it's run right, they've gotten turnovers, gotten easy baskets at the other end. But when they've been a little bit lackadaisical and slow on defense, it's led to Keaton Cole hitting down shots in the corner.
12 fast break points for the Eagles. Also, they lead the points in the paint battle 28-14. With 8 minutes to go in the game, the Eagles lead it by 1. Mutombo skips it into Hall, who is giving Tawaski King a breather and some quality minutes played by the true freshman today. Mutombo, tough shot. How about that one? Haruna Mutombo says, may I have this dance, and buries a tough one fading away.
And right before the shot clock expired, too. Maybe a little bit of luck, but hey, we'll take it.
And body control from Haruna Mutombo. Powers again, a lob. Not a Ferguson this time, and they have to swing it back out. Good recovery defensively from the Catamounts that time, anticipating that play. Powers, he'll try a little fader of his own. Won't go. Another offensive rebound. That won't go. Kenny Hall finally gets the rebound for the Catamounts. Keaton Cole brings it into the front court now. Mutombo again with the basketball, almost had it taken away. Tawaski King and Trey Summer set to check back in. Boggs got his man in the air. They didn't get the call. Hall with the rebound and the finish. How about that from a true freshman, realizing the situation, and now the Eagles lose it out of bounds, their 19th turnover. That will lead us to a timeout. Catamounts, a 3-point lead in a wild, fast-paced game here at the Ramsey Center. Media timeout. Catamounts lead by 3 when you come back to TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center. And one of our cameramen, good work today by the 62 crew. And while we got a chance, Ryan Keys on the sidelines, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm here with Shauna Sage from the CRC, and I've been coordinating with her a special intramural champ night event with TV 62. And Shauna, this basketball event is going to be held in the Ramsey Center. How excited are you about it?
We're really excited to have the opportunity to have our students over here in the Ramsey Center. They're really excited to play in the main arena here.
And this will be the first time that TV 62 is televised an intramural event. It's a big opportunity for us, but also a big opportunity for the CRC. Get to show us how the students can play some basketball, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a lot of talented students out there who aren't playing on the main court today, but who are playing in intramural sports.
And on top of that, you work with the dance team a lot. Is there anything that you'd like to say about that before we leave you?
Yeah, just come out and support your Cats. The dance team's at every home men's and women's basketball game.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Shauna. Now I will remind our viewers that intramural championship night for basketball scheduled in the Ramsey Center February 21st from 6 to 10. So make sure to come out and support all of your fellow students who are going to be having a lot of fun here. Kyle, back to you.
Thank you, Ryan. And we're certainly at TV 62 excited to bring you the intramural championships, which will be played here in the Ramsey Center in late February. And then later that Saturday, we'll bring you the battle for the Old Mountain Jug on the hardwood, round 2 against Appalachian State. And that'll wrap up our basketball coverage for the year in late February. Catamount still lead by 3 here now against Georgia Southern. Mutombo skip pass, swinging around. And the Catamounts the past 2 games, Philip, have done a much, much better job of getting people involved and passing the basketball. And it's off Georgia Southern. Hewitt doesn't like the call. They'll say it's off his foot. Catamounts will have 5 on the shot clock. Who do you look for with a little time on the shot clock, Philip?
Well, honestly, I don't think you're too picky. You can get a good shot off. Whoever can take it, can take it. But I think right here you're going to look for Sumler or maybe even Cole coming off the screen.
Mutombo, how about it? He'll give it a try from long range. That won't go. Ball goes over the backboard. And Georgia Southern will have possession. But the way he's been shooting, not a bad idea, as he spotted up for 3 in that last one he had when the shot clock was going down. That might be the highlight of the night so far for the Catamounts. 60-57, the Cat House Band and company at the Ramsey Center chanting defense, asking for a defensive stand from their Catamounts. Powers tries to power his way inside, has to kick it back out. Hewitt, pump and go, lays it in. Nice take that time on the drive. And a good hesitation, and then taking his chance and getting the drive to the lane.
Yeah, that was a real smooth move by Hewitt. He was patient, waited for the hole to form himself, took it in there, hesitated just a little bit, got to the rim very easily.
Catamount lead is now 1. Mutombo in trouble and calls for timeout. Mutombo a little upset, no one came to help. Coach Young not upset at all, even though his team trails by 1. Catamounts will use a 30-second timeout. And Brigham Wagons are wondering why it's not a full. So it'll be a full timeout. We'll take it with him. Coach Young trying to fire up Georgia Southern. Catamounts trying to hold on to a 1-point lead when you come back. TV 62's coverage of Catamount basketball. Welcome back to Catamount cheerleaders. Certainly getting the crowd into it. Coming down the stretch, 4:46 to go. And the Catamounts with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Mutombo had to call a timeout. And we saw that a little bit against Chattanooga. Catamounts struggle with that trap around the half-court mark. And if you're the Catamounts, smart timeout, keeping the possession, not creating another turnover and a fast break opportunity for a good fast break team. Ross checks into the game for the Catamounts. Hand off to Cole, 4 on the shot clock. Cole, tough shot, won't go, front iron. Had the line, not the distance, Powers. Lob, Ferguson again. Ferguson has given the Eagles the lead with a monster throwdown, and he has been flying high here in the second half.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about how he was quiet in the first half. Well, he certainly made up for that. Now that he's got 13 second half points, he's getting hot at the right time.
And now a turnover. Coach Young fired up, along with his Georgia Southern team, who leads by 1. Mutombo will check back in. King will check out.
Once again, Kyle, turnovers will absolutely kill you. You have to protect the basketball, especially now that we're under 4 minutes to go. Getting down to crunch time in this conference basketball game, you have to absolutely, it's a must to protect the basketball.
Catamounts also trying to protect their home floor. And a whistle inside. And they're going to get a 3-second call. It'll be Catamount basketball. Our last media timeout of the day. Georgia Southern leads by 1, but it should be a wild ride down to the finish. Southern Conference action, courtesy of TV 62. And we have Catamount basketball for you all season long. Cat House Band fired up as we get ready for the final stretch when you come back. Welcome back to the Ramsey Center. Everyone fired up here, young, old, and in between. Catamounts down by 1, trying to urge them to another victory. And again, Philip, this Catamount team locked in a very, very close basketball game.
And this is no surprise. This is how it always been for us all season long. Tough games that usually come down to the final possession. And by the ways of this one, it looks like we may be in for the same treat.
Mutombo brings it across the timeline, trying to get the Catamount lead back. On the floor, it's Cole, Sumler, Mutombo, Ross, and Brandon Boggs for the Catamounts. Mutombo backs his guy down, looks for a pass, finds Ross, and one as he goes up. A big finish. Wanted to dunk it. They didn't want to give him the dunk, so they fouled him, but Ross, so strong with the basketball, was able to bank it in.
Absolutely, very strong move by Ross, and now you got an extra chance for 1. Big free throw here.
Ross steps to the line, and really, in this second half, we haven't had many free throws. Ross buries it. It's a 2-point lead. Catamounts 4 of 5 this half. 6 of 8 from the line this game. Georgia Southern has not gotten to the line once here in the second half.
Let's keep it that way.
Swing it outside. Georgia Southern now finds themselves down 2 after a big play from Ross. Shot clock at 14. Swing it over. Hewitt will try from long range. Count it. Back up by 1. Go the Eagles. A big-time shot for the Eagles and a team that doesn't shoot the 3 ball well. They have today. They're 7 of 15 from beyond the arc. Mutombo back to work. Shot is blocked. Tip back out. And even though he couldn't get the offensive board, Mutombo keeps the possession alive for his Catamount team. Boggs is pickpocketed. Fast break for Georgia Southern. Hewitt tried to lay it in, no good. Boggs said enough of that. Let's get the basketball back. And a big cheer. Good transition defense from the Catamounts.
Absolutely good transition. Good hustle by both Mutombo, Boggs, and Keaton Cole to get back to prevent that layup.
Sumler couldn't get it to go. Boggs gets the board. Clears out some pace, does get it to go. 65-64, Catamounts on top. 2 minutes to go. The intensity is just building here in the Ramsey Center.
And Kyle, I think this is about as loud as we've heard the Ramsey Center all day, as everyone is on their feet cheering on the Catamounts.
Looking for a defensive stand. 65-64, Catamounts lead. Hewitt, or no, that's Powers powering his way to the basket. Georgia Southern back up 1. The refs letting them play. We've seen physical play both sides of the ball. No call either way. They're letting them play down the stretch. Mutombo brings it across. And the Catamounts trying to take the lead back. Mutombo back inside, kick out. Keaton Cole for 3. No good. Ferguson a big defensive board as they have a 1-point lead as we approach a minute to go. Timeout, Georgia Southern. 66-65, 106 to go. Mutombo, senior to senior with Keaton Cole, says, hey, don't worry about it. We're going to need another one probably down the stretch. And if you're Keaton Cole, it's just your first miss. I don't think he'll be hesitant next time he gets a look like that.
Oh, absolutely not. He's been shooting lights out all day. That was a wide open look. He just didn't knock it down. I guarantee you, though, Georgia Southern's want to give that to him again because he will make him pay when he knocks it down.
Keaton Cole, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc tonight. He has 17 Catamount points. Haruna Mutombo with 16, Trey Sumler with 12. Leaders for the Eagles, Ben Drayton has 14. Janae Hewitt with 13, and Ferguson has reached into double figures with 13. A lot of those coming via the dunk on the pick and roll on the baseline. Georgia Southern up 1 with the basketball as we will go under the minute mark.
Big possession here for both teams. Obviously, the Eagles looking to extend their lead, and the Catamounts making sure they don't give up any more points.
Powers has created a lot this half. Kick out Ferguson for 3. That won't go. Look good for a while. Mutombo the rebound. Crowd rising to their feet. Again, Phillip, we might go down to the last possession. 34 seconds to go. Cats trail by 1. Sumler, tough shot, won't go. Ross the rebound. Mutombo will set it back up. Shot clock is off. They can hold for 1.
It's deja vu for you and me, Kyle.
Down the stretch, 20 seconds. Sumler with the basketball. Everybody on their feet. 15 to go. Sumler will drive. Tries a shot. Won't go. Rebound. Fought for, and it's a foul. And I believe it'll be on the Catamounts. It is. It's Trey Sumler, his first. 10.5 seconds to go. Interesting thing here, it's only the second team foul. Catamounts have 5 fouls to give. They'll be looking for the steal and immediate foul. Crowd chants defense and a foul right out of the gate as Powers was cutting for the basketball. Don't even let him get it inbounds. No time off the clock.
And no harm done there either. Like you said, you have 5 fouls to give that, and you still got 4 more. No time went off. Smart play by someone.
And again, another smart play. Use these fouls before they can get it inbounds and not allow for any of that 10.5 to tick off.
Absolutely. And in a way that works against the Catamounts just a little bit, because if the Eagles aren't shooting free throws, it's kind of hard for them to get the ball back.
And this one will be on Mutombo. Nope, it'll be on Boggs, his second. So the Catamounts content to play the foul game. They're up to 5 team fouls now, and now make it 6. As Keaton Cole got a bit of jersey, his first foul. Catamounts doing a good job balancing it as well, not getting a foul on one guy too quick. Next one, it will be 1-1. They'll let him try to inbound this time. It comes in, foul. Hewitt will go to the line to shoot a 1-1. 9.7 to go.
That was a good quick foul by Mutombo. It didn't even allow a second off the clock. We'll see what happens here. Big free throws.
Hewitt will step to the line, and what a time to bring out the hot dog. It has not made an appearance all game. It does now. With 9.7 to go, Hewitt a huge 1-1. The first free throws for the Eagles. First is good. The lead is 2.
Cool, calm, and collected right there for Hewitt. Didn't even phase him.
A big second one, trying to make it a 3-point game. Hewitt lines it up, rolls around, it's good. So 9-7 to go. Catamounts need 3.
Well, I think obviously they're going to be looking for Mr. Cole right here. He's been hot all game. What better way for him to come up big here?
And remember, Mutombo corralled him the last time, and Georgia Southern is going to foul. They have fouls to give as Mutombo streaked it. Not a bad idea, trying to kill some this time and not give the Catamounts a look from beyond the arc. But if you're the Eagles, you got to be careful not to foul them in the act of shooting.
Absolutely. And even if they do continue to foul them, Western will shoot 2 free throws, and that's almost useless for them since they need a 3.
Sumler's got to bring it in the front court, a foul. Sumler tried to draw the shot. He doesn't. 3.1 to go. And the next one will be a 1-1.
I think if you're Georgia Southern here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to foul him, because if you send him to the line for a 1-1, even if they both make both of them.
Unless the Catamounts go catch and shoot, you do not want to foul a 3-point shooter in the act of shooting.
That is true.
Brandon Boggs will inbound the basketball. Looks for it. Sumler turns. Ross will have a look. In and out.
Oh, man.
Won't quite go. And the Catamounts will suffer a heartbreak loss again at the Ramsey Center, 68-65. Man, Ross had a look at it.
That right there is about as close as it gets. Right as time expired, just didn't fall for him.
Well, the Catamounts will fall to 4-8 in the Southern Conference. The Eagles improve to 8-4 rather. But for the Catamounts, another close defeat here at home. Their fourth home loss, the most really since 2005 here at home. But the Catamounts have to be impressed with how they came out with a lot of intensity, this being their 5th game in 10 days. And now they got a break till next Thursday, a big game with the College of Charleston coming up.
Absolutely. College of Charleston is a very tough opponent. They've pulled off a couple upsets this year. So the Catamounts are going to have to breathe their air game in order to pull off the upset.
That'll be the first of a 2-game road trip. Next Saturday, the Catamounts will try to avenge that buzzer beater loss to Furman, who hit a 3 here with 4 seconds to go to get a win there. And then the 16th, they come back home and play the Citadel here in the Ramsey Center. So that's the next 3 games for the Catamounts. We will have that Citadel game for you. Once again, the Catamounts fall 68-65 here at the Ramsey Center. For Ryan Keys, Philip Jackson, I'm Kyle Rush, and all your TV62 crew. Thanks for joining us here on Catamount Basketball, presented by TV62.